All right, Casper, dear viewers, welcome. Welcome, Casper.
Welcome, Martin.
Thank you. Question, which tech company performed better this week? And I'm saying this week, Alphabet or Meta platform?
It was a mega difference.
Mega difference,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Start with?
I'll start with Meta platforms, or also called Facebook. And I think if you were investing, you know it. The shares went down 26%, the biggest loss of market volume in one day in the history of the stock market. Never ever happened so much value. 230 billion of US dollars went lost. So there was a big loss. The main issue with Facebook is the fact that they're investing a lot, or you could say they're spending a lot, and other analysts speak of they're burning a lot of cash on the reality labs, which is basically the development towards 2030 of the metaverse, so in which you are somewhere and you're actually not there. So they are really putting a lot of money in there. For your information, that wasn't 2 years ago about 4.5 billion, and at this moment they're spending almost 10.5 billion, so they double the amount of cash. And of course that investment is not delivering any direct payback, so they're not making any profit out of that. They did make some money. They made 39.2 billion of earnings, so that they did absolutely made a lot of money, which comes down to $13.77 per share. And on the current price of $238, that is approximately a PE, or a price earnings, of 17. Do we compare that with the average of the Nasdaq? Then we talk about 35. So it's a 50% discount towards the average price earnings on the Nasdaq. If you want to say, okay, what was now actually the revenue growth over the last decades, over the last 10 years? Around 2011, they were actually generating 3.7 billion of revenue, and at the moment that is 118. So they're really managed. I mean, they've been growing. It's also normal that sometimes you get a little bit of a hiccup in the growth. And
well, it's also maybe because the interest increasements, and that a big opinion is that especially companies that generate a profit in the future, that they will suffer from the interest rate, and especially when those investments only come out in 2030, when maybe an interest rates is normal at 5%.
I mean, that market is going to be huge. That metaverse market, I think it's about 800 billion market they expect it's going to be. I mean, I'm still not 100% sure what it will be, but it's going to be massive.
Maybe you have a too short horizon, investors.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Another point of interest, of course, the users of the platform Facebook are not growing anymore. And you might think, well, that's not a big point, but they have been growing since launch. Every year they had growth. And last year, I mean, it was a minor, you could say it's a stagnation even, or it's a minor decrease in amount of users. Another point, of course, and you will touch on that as well, online advertisement is becoming more and more difficult. And you have now the possibility to switch off what you want to receive. So you all of a sudden receive advertisement that are absolutely not relevant for you, but you are receiving them. And so those things are important. On the other side, however, they are capable of, if they were capable to increase slightly the average earnings per user. So despite all these difficulties,
from Facebook?
From Facebook, yeah.
Okay.
So that was a good thing. So all in all, I mean, if you look at it from an investment perspective, technically seen, the technical analysts, they always are right, because they draw a line, and if you pull it back long enough, you will always come to a point that you say, hey, they touched this resistance. But on the Elliott wave, on longer term, on a daily basis, apparently it hit the 238, which is an important level, technically seen. Fundamentally, you see it's on the half of the S&P, the Nasdaq average. So follow it. It's an interesting thing. I think what happened with this company, such a huge loss, quarter of the price. I'm really curious what this brings to the next.
Do you know if the users of Instagram were increasing or not?
No, I didn't find that.
Okay.
I didn't look into it.
And they also have WhatsApp.
And they have WhatsApp, so they have a lot of revenue streams possible. I mean, WhatsApp is always a big thing, because I don't get any advertisement on it now.
They paid 10 billion for it, I think.
It's insane. I mean, and it's for free, right?
Yeah.
It's for free.
Also, a business account is for free.
Yeah. So if you imagine
the business model is not did not prove it.
No, but if you charge 50 cents per year, even that, or $1, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody will stop at WhatsApp.
No, I saw Amazon came also with figures, and I didn't read it, but I only saw the highlight is that they're going to increase the Prime subscription fee. They had good figures, by the way. And the same what Netflix was doing. They didn't have good figures, trading at 50%
but it's also
from the highest point.
They're making this content, right? But what happened with, I mean, if you look at Telegram, this what from who was that? Do you know it?
No,
I don't know either. But that, do you know it by any sense, cameraman? No. No, okay. No, so I mean that that didn't keep really off the ground, eh?
No.
People say, you should go to Telegram because WhatsApp can read everything of you. Okay, well, what are you gonna do?
No. Okay. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah. Okay. Next topic, Alphabet.
Yeah, so if you were a holder this week of Facebook, you were not really happy. If you had Google shares in your portfolio, I think you were more happy than Facebook users of Facebook shareholders.
Yeah.
I have also the two charts, and if you see, of course, the big dump, and it's trading still so far this year and last year. Google is trading strong. They came with the figures, and that's what is always interesting from US figures, because they present the figures after the closing.
Yeah.
And then in the after hour market, you see how the market responds on it. And already based on the figures, the share gained 8%, and it was also the day after. Yesterday, it's today Friday. On Thursday, the markets went down 3%, and also Google lost again 3%. But if you look, okay, Alphabet has Google, has YouTube. It's an important income stream from them. But they have also Google Chrome. It's the biggest browser of the world, and they have Google Maps and Google and Gmail. They're all more users than 1 billion, and they have another interesting product. And I want to close off with that one. Even more positive to close off, I think. Okay, now the figures in Q4. 33% more revenue, $75 billion, 67 was expected, and that's of course is the case. 75 is just a figure. Is it good? Is that not good? First of all, it's increasement, but was also better than expected. 75 versus 67. The other 3 quarters were already, of course, known. If you look at it on a yearly basis, $258 billion, the profit was 41% more than the year before. And also, they have something like Facebook, because they spend a lot on research and development. I don't know the exact figure, but I think it is around 25% of their revenue. So not on the profit, but on the revenue. So if there will be a problem in the future, they can always easily deduct their research and development costs. And those projects are called Projects X, and they make a loss on those. So even if they stop like Facebook, then the figures are much better, and they can stop very easily with it. For example, they try to create agriculture business at sea, and also have a project where they take water from the air. So especially for some countries, really interesting. Projects X. If you look, you touched up on price earnings. On average, the S&P has.
The Nasdaq was 34.
34. Yeah. And Google has 25 price earnings. So also below the average.
Below the average.
Not as low as the 17 of Facebook, but still interesting, I think. Okay, so the share is doing still great, but there are some disadvantages, especially in Europe and in the US. There are movements that they don't agree with Google about their privacy policy. First of all, they say that Google manipulates the news, and they have contracts with certain parties, and they can manipulate on pricing, and also, of course, about the privacy about the users. Google has plans to stop with the browser cookies, and they want to in the browser itself. They want to put us clients in boxes, and then the first ideas was to create different.
Want that.
No, I don't know if you want it. I'm not giving my opinion, but first of all, they had 30,000 boxes, and now they have. I think that
more people in one box.
Yeah, they combined them, and now only 300 boxes. Especially in Germany, there are going to be some lawsuits, so they are under pressure. And
I saw that.
And if we were talking about the income stream on online advertisement, 29% of all the worldwide online advertisements are generated through Google. and Google is not operating in every country in the
No.
world, not every area. So if you look at the Western area and in the US, that's more than
It's a
29%.
serious money. Yeah.
They also announced with the figures a stock split, 20-1, because the share is now trading at $2,900. So they go back. You get 19 extra shares, but the amount, of course, is the same.
Good thing, I think.
So now they will go to around 145, 150.
When is it going to happen?
The shareholders need to
July.
approve it. I think there is an extra meeting on the 1st of July, and when they approve it, on the 15th of July, it will be active.
Quickly then.
Yeah, but especially what you said this morning for option, because if you now want to sell one
It's
option,
a
one share,
300,000 obligation.
yeah. So I think it's always difficult to say, is it good for the stock price? But if you go for such a big price,
I think it's a good thing.
3,250, more volume for the options is more volume for the
Yeah, it
for
will
the
attract
share.
also some smaller investors.
Yeah. To close off, Google Lens.
Yes.
We are not filming with the Google Lens.
Lens, L-E-N-S.
Yeah, if you have a Android phone, you have it directly as an app. But if you don't, if you have, for example, an Apple, you have to go to the Google app, and then you open the app. Then you have a little picture of a camera, and if you push that one, then you open the Google Lens. And what does the Google Lens do? If you make a picture, for example, from this pencil, you make a picture, and automatically it says this is this pen, and you can buy it here, and this is it. Yeah, but if you walk in the street and you see a certain flower and you want to buy that for your wife, you make a picture, and it says this is this flower.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
And maybe
it's
you
amazing.
Can, yeah,
and it reads your stuff, and it does it calculates.
Yeah, if you have a volume
things.
and you want to say, okay, 3x plus 2x plus, you make a picture, and the outcome comes directly, and also, and then I will close definitely. Text, if you make a picture from some text, you can directly translate it into another language, but you can also let it
read it for you.
Yeah.
So it reads you up the text.
Google Lens.
Amazing.
Go have a look. It's amazing.
It's going to rain this weekend, so enjoy. Google Lens.
Where? In Spain, it's going to rain.
Somewhere in the world.
Yeah, somewhere. Okay, thank you for watching. Give us a thumb, please. And if you have some comments, questions, please put them below. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.